Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we have a reading for you about someone who you're going to meet or you may have just recently met. But this would be for someone who isn't necessarily out looking for love. So you might be needing a little encouragement to open up to this person, to be willing to consider them, where maybe you're distracted or even talking to somebody else. But I don't feel like this would be somebody who's in a relationship. There's this opportunity and there are sparks flying. Maybe you meet at like a New Year's Eve party or something. And this is saying you should get to know this person. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. Sorry, I guess I'm struggling here. I hope you're having a good day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is more information on how to become a member. I did it, you guys. I made it. Thank you to the current members. Hello, Stefan. How are you doing? From Greece. Ooh, that's awesome. All right. I think I'm a little out of sorts because I reached for the notebook where I write down the questions for personal questions and almost fell out of my chair. All right, I'm pulling it together. It's all right, you guys. All right, we have the Hocus Pocus Tarot. But also, I'll let you know that tomorrow, being, of course, Christmas, I will do one live stream. And I will also have a pick a card to share with everyone. And I think I'm going to do that as a live premiere. So what that means is I've already got the pick a card reading recorded, but I think I will upload it as something that you all can use the live chat function with. So that's the difference. And hopefully I can actually join and be a part of that live chat as well. It just kind of depends on how the day goes. All right, so what else do we have? We have the Knight of Lightning or Knight of Swords in the reverse, and the Five of Pumpkins or Five of Pentacles. See, I feel like this is someone that you're not expecting to meet. So maybe you meet this person because, you know, your cousin brings them to the holiday party, or your coworker does, or maybe you're, you know, meeting a old friend at the local bar when you're visiting home and you meet this person. There's something here where this is someone you normally would not have had an opportunity to meet. And I do feel like there is a chapter that is closing out for you. Some of you may be moving to a new place. Some of you may have recently decided that it's time to pursue a different job or a different industry, maybe even a little bit of change with regards to social elements, because we do have this Ace of Potions or Ace of Cups. But I feel like this is more so saying in kind of like a quiet, like not super busy social era, there's somebody here that you meet kind of by happenstance, and they may capture your attention. We have the Seven of Swords in the reverse. I think you like this person and you are actually considering giving them an option, or, you know, giving them an opportunity with you, because this person's very honest. So maybe they're standing in the corner of a party and you all get to like roast everyone there, or they, you know, complain about how ridiculous the music set is, whatever it is. I feel like there's some sarcastic jokes happening. Hello, Gahara, how are you doing? What else do we have? Five of Potions or Five of Cups, and the Seven of Candles or Seven of Wands. You might have someone who's still kind of heartbroken over you, and they're worried about whether or not there's going to be someone else that crosses your path, or someone else who decides that they're interested. I wonder, I'm not sure if this is an ex though. This might just be someone who is a friend Okay. So you meet someone new, you might get excited about this individual. You might meet this person in, you know, just like by happening to go to somebody's party over the holidays, or maybe even something silly like, at the local park, walking your dog. But this is someone here, this King of Cups in the reverse, is holding back their emotions from you. And I think you tell them that you meet someone that you like, or they find out, and it's gonna provoke some jealousy. So you might have a friend who is working up the courage to let you know that they have a crush on you, but they hadn't yet. And then you might share, or they might somehow hear about this new person and get jealous. Hello, Skemmy. Hello, April. How are you doing? Hello, Lemonade. What's up? Yes, Merry Christmas Eve. How we doing? So this is the Tarot of the Nile. We have the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups in the reverse. I feel like there's someone who was counting on having the chance to finally express their emotions to you. I don't know why it feels like they've procrastinated so much, but perhaps it's because it seems like this is a friend of yours trying to find the right moment, maybe allowing you time to heal, or maybe even just struggling a little bit themselves as far as like being able to confess this. But now they're frustrated because they see or hear or find out about you meeting someone that like puts stars in your eyes that you get excited about. So just be cautious as far as when you meet this person or when you start getting to know this individual. There could be some risk here to gloating or talking about this with someone that you might already kind of suspect has a little bit of a crush on you, right? Hello, Helen, how are you doing? Hello, Harley. Hello, Casey. Hello, Jesse, how are you doing? No. Hello, Cleaford. Hello, ooh, was it Neha? Did I say it right? I really hope I did. Hello, Rachel. How are you doing? Hello, Mysterium. Hello, Bodhi. So look, this event that you go to is this Three of Cups, right? And I feel like in general, whoever I'm reading does not have to be a woman, but this is a Queen of Swords, somebody who has been a little bit more reserved with regards to social engagements, or maybe just really focused on something. Maybe you've got a really important project at work. But we've got this Five of Wands, Ten of Swords, Tower moment that happens when someone is upset to hear that you are excited to have met someone or that you are getting to know someone new, because they had this expectation that they were going to finally be able to confess that they have feelings for you. But this Ten of Swords is like, how could you like try to get to know someone else before I had the chance to tell you that I have a crush on you? So things might be awkward, or there might be some tension that is kind of difficult for you to wrap your head around, like, wait, what happened here? It's because this person feels like you're moving quickly with someone that they're jealous of. They would rather be in this person's place. Merry Christmas Eve. Hello, Lena, how are you doing? Hello, Marvin. Hello, Hayden. Merry Christmas Eve, how we doing? Hello, Super Chad. So we have the Three of Pentacles and the King of Cups in the reverse. I'm telling you, this is a friend. Maybe this is a coworker for some of you. This is someone that I don't feel like you were like, I don't feel like you have those feelings. I don't feel that you were considering this person, even if you had some slight suspicion that perhaps they were interested. I don't think you have much idea though, because this is like trying to say somebody that you consider to be a friend, if you tell them that you're getting to know a new person in a romantic sense or flirting with someone new, they're gonna get jealous. So if you have to know that, then you probably don't realize this person is into you. So they look at your good news and your excitement over this new person as like a betrayal or a loss. Something that makes them feel frustrated, and I feel like they could start an argument or try to kind of like rain on your parade. But I feel like you would know why. If you didn't initially understand that this person was interested in you, I think you would after their response, if you do end up telling them. Hello, Mustafa. It's going well, thank you. Yes, thank you for liking and subscribing. What else do we have? Six of Swords. Four of Pentacles. This is that person that's hiding their feelings. Oh, what is awkward? This like, I'm headed out, I'm gonna go hang out with some friends, or I don't know, maybe I'm going on a little vacation, maybe I'm visiting my hometown, and this person's like, okay, cool, I'll see you when you get back. We can like, you know, go to the local bar, we can go play golf, skee ball, whatever. And they're thinking about what they're going to say. This Four of Pentacles is the person, the King of Cups in the reverse, deciding, I've got to find a way to actually say how I feel to this person, like they're actually getting flowers ready for you, right? And then they find out that things are much more complicated because there's someone else here who has expressed interest, and it's somebody that you like. Maybe that's a little unusual. Maybe you are known for being a little bit selective, which isn't a bad thing, right? Hello, Steven. How are you doing? Merry Christmas, Dana. How you doing? Question mark? So we have the Hermit and Justice. So now we have this friend who has kept their crush on you quiet, a little bit frustrated over the fact that you are getting to know this person, and you might be put in a situation where you feel like you have to address this, even if they don't confess their emotions. Because if this is a friend who's all of a sudden acting strange and you feel like you can't tell them about something happening in your life that's good, where is that friendship going, right? So you might need a little bit of time to think about where you want to invest, what the future might hold for the friendship and this new romantic connection. I feel like we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands representing these two individuals, and you are this King of Swords. Doesn't matter what your gender is. You've got this appreciation for what am I interested in, what's important to me, who can I trust. I really like this new person because I feel like I have found someone who's really honest or has integrity or is interested in the type of connection that I'm interested in. But does that mean I have to have an awkward conversation with this friend of mine who might be a little bit disappointed, right? Hello, George. How are you doing? Merry Christmas. have, wow, the Ace of Cups now. So I've just pulled the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. I feel like you're excited. And if you can't talk about the good things that are happening in your life because someone might get jealous or frustrated, or someone might have some, you know, feelings that they can't talk about, you're starting to wonder, does that mean that like this is not actually a friendship? Because I should be able to talk to a friend about something that's going well, right? And I do feel like for many of you, there's an added question mark here where this friend is worried that if you are talking to somebody who lives on the other side of town or in the next state over or in, I don't know, across the country, there's some fear here that someone has that they're going to lose access to you because you're investing elsewhere, because you're talking to someone who is going to impact probably how much time they get to spend with you, right? Hello, Ratisha, how you doing? Hello, Bunny, what's up? Did I miss something funny? Oh my God, you just said Tennessee Ernie Ford? That's great. I like it. So we have the Death card and the Nine of Cups in the reverse with the Four of Wands. All right. So basically, there seems to be some really positive energy between you and this new person. There are going to be changes that happen as a result of you connecting with this person, getting to know them better, being open-minded. And for many of you, you're headed for a long-term relationship. But this message seems to be focusing more on the fact that there's someone here who is upset or frustrated that you end up in a happy relationship, because then that means that they don't get what they want. They want to be with you and struggle to be supportive or struggle to be a good friend because they're thinking about how it would have gone if they'd been able to confess their feelings or if you had reciprocated those feelings. You mean be super awkward? I think that's still considered flirting by some. So we have the Page of Swords and the Two of Swords. All right, so if you are experiencing this, you know, developing feelings for someone, meeting someone unexpectedly, you have this flirtation and this friend who doesn't seem to really want to see you enjoy that new connection. This is saying there's an important moment where your intuition is going to guide you to have a conversation with this person about whether or not there's a future to your friendship. In part because this person could potentially seek to cause drama in the new relationship, and your new relationship doesn't deserve that. In part because this is someone who may not actually be a trustworthy individual, or this could be someone who just needs to know what the boundaries are. I feel like for most of you, this is a person who would struggle to be your friend because it feels like, well, I guess it's kind of similar to that like Love Actually moment, right? But I feel like there would be that element of friendship that made you want this person in your inner circle would be lacking because you would always have that concern that this person is not necessarily rooting for your relationship to go very well, which if that's something that you have to tolerate in a close friend of yours, that's rough. I don't think I could trust somebody in that situation. You went with your pink socks to the supermarket? Yeah, that's pretty bold. Your socks were flirting. Hello, Share Bear. How are you doing? This is the Path of Shadows. We have the Cauldron, intention, alchemy, manifestation. This is someone who's trying to get out of the friend zone, realizing that they don't have that option anymore. And as such, there's going to be this decision. Are we actually friends or not? Raven, knowledge, death, energies. like this is saying there's a friendship here that's going to end because they realize they don't have a chance being with you romantically. Knowledge, death, energies from the Raven card. And then we've got the Necromancer card. Amidst the whispers of the dead, where mysteries are spread, what should have been gone still here remains. So for some of you, the price of admission for this happy relationship that is headed your way, this new person that's going to, from what I can see, this is a great relationship. The problem is there is a friendship that threatens that relationship. So this is letting you know, as you get to know, as you flirt with this new person, keep in mind that you want to make sure that those that are also in your inner circle are rooting for you to be in a happy connection, right? That doesn't mean that they will always like who you're in a relationship with, but at least that they would seek to support you and be happy for you if you're, in love or getting married or starting a family. This would be a friend who would struggle to do that because they would be jealous. This is a person who might try to sabotage the relationship. So the cost of admission might be letting go of a friendship that isn't really so much a friendship as someone who was waiting, hoping that you would discover that you had feelings for them, but I don't think you do. Let's see. We're going to go with the Earth and Bone Oracle. A reindeer onesie. Oh, man. I was definitely trying to think of that. Like, if I should wear some sort of ridiculous Christmas outfit tomorrow. I don't know where mine is. I had this problem with Halloween, too. A lot of my stuff's still kind of packed up. Yes, this is still the general or the collective reading. ShareBear, if you go to my channel page, you can also find playlists that are specific by astrological sign or like all signs, or like themes like twin flame. Do you have a nose as well? That's great. I mean, how can you be Rudolph without, but she did technically just say that it was a reindeer one. We have the Beloved card. I see, this is why I'm saying I feel like this is a great romantic connection for you. I feel like the two of you will be happy, but this friend, I want to say, is kind of like the thorn on the rose, right? We've got someone here who doesn't seem to be wanting to celebrate when you have these happy moments or when you I don't know, get engaged or move in with each other. This is someone who you start to question whether or not they're actually a friend, in part because they don't want to celebrate, but also because you wonder what it is that they would manifest or what it is they're putting their energy into. Are they sending negative energy your way because it suits them? Would they threaten this relationship for you? Good luck with that, Stefan. Yes, I agree. So we've got, ooh. See, you probably don't have an interest in this person who's in the friend zone because there's something here that you determined a while back that the two of you are on different pages regarding. Maybe you have very different backgrounds, beliefs, or what you think of as far as like the next 5 or 10 years, but you know that you're better off just friends with this person. The issue is if they're going to still have those feelings for you and it makes it difficult for them to watch you be happy with someone else, what kind of friendship can you have with that person? There's a limitation there, right? If they tried to give you advice on the relationship, you would always have to wonder about what the motivation is because you feel like this new relationship is something that you are meant to be able to find. So you don't really want someone who's looking for the red flags that don't exist. You don't want somebody who would like convince you to be angry about things that you don't need to be angry about. So there's some issue here from the past, and I feel like this is something that you have experienced. And I do feel like this would be, if this is your reading, this would be your energy. There's something here that your friend knows about you, the friend who's in the friend zone, and they may use that information to try to create drama in your new relationship. It's not even that I feel like you would struggle to tell the truth to this person at the right time, but this friend zone, not really friend, might try to use information that they have about your past in order to create an awkward moment or create division between you and this new person by bringing up that information, before it should be discussed, right? Yeah, it's really more about what can you afford to lose versus what will you gain. If you think about like now get this, I do really love Vegas, but like I also don't know if I would enjoy it as much now that I don't want to have a Bloody Mary. I always loved them at the casinos for some reason, or Bloody Caesar if you're familiar. And I don't know, there's something now that seems to be much more compelling about time off where you're recharging, right? Where you're not exhausted and feel like you need another day off when you get back, but rather you feel like you're like ready to take on the world because you were able to reconnect or like feel grounded, right? Hello, EWS, how are you doing? Good morning, Lee. How's your day? Yes. About situation. I've got you, Lee. Thank you for the tip. That's true. If you want to lose all your money, you can give it to a good cause instead. Like at this point, rather than spend money on like, I don't know, getting drunk for New Year's, for example, I would almost rather like find people who don't have that and be like, here's a bunch of liquor for you and watch them get drunk. Enjoy the hangover. Look, for some of you, there is some twin flame element here. And it could be that we have a person in the friend zone who has convinced themselves that you are the only one that could make them happy. It could be that some of you have a close friend where at some point you said, hey, if we reach a certain age and we haven't found anyone, we'll just get married because we're, that close in terms of friendship. But I feel like there's something here where it's like, I thought that I actually had a chance, or I thought that if you weren't in a relationship, then at least I could be close to you, and it would be almost like being in a relationship, even though it's not. I think we have someone here who's not necessarily reading the room. They may have taken your friendliness or your kindness and assumed some feelings were behind that, as opposed to maybe you just being a good person. I feel like this person has spent money on something for you. I don't feel like this is someone who is, wealthy, nor do I feel like they are completely like broke. But I do feel like this is someone who has spent more money on you than they should, maybe for a Christmas gift. How do I say that? I don't know if I should say that. For some of you, this obsession with you that this friend zone friend has involves spending money on something that is a little bit creepy. So an example would be buying what they know is your favorite perfume or cologne and spraying it when they're at home to pretend like you're there. That's one of the least creepy ones that I've seen. But I guess what I'm getting at is this is someone who has for a long time felt like there was a chance that maybe you would settle for a connection with them. You maybe had like that marriage deal like I mentioned. Or maybe they could over time convince you that they were a good person, that they could, be a good partner. I just feel like there's a little bit of disconnect here as far as how you see things and how they see things and whether or not they read into what you say or how you act. And there is a change happening. I do feel like you've been going through a spiritual awakening, which leads you to make some choices that change your life, right? We had this death card. For some of you, like I said, end of a job, or maybe you're moving, maybe you got out of a marriage, maybe you have decided that you want to shift to a different industry, so you're going back for school. There's changes here that make it more difficult for you to be friends with this person. And I feel like they're getting a little bit like graspy, trying to find a way to make sure that they stay in that inner circle. That's a good way to avoid that problem, Scubby. That's how you doing? So look, I do feel like when you have this new person that you meet, there's a need for you to acknowledge if there is a future in this friendship, because this person doesn't seem to be willing to let go of the idea of being with you in a romantic sense, and you don't seem to be interested in sacrificing the new relationship or, moving this person out of the friendship zone. So it's like, maybe we are just gonna have to agree to disagree, and I wish you well, that kind of thing. We'll get a few from the Burning Heart Love Oracle. And after that, I will start the personal questions. And Zaz, let me know if you would rather I call you by the first name you shared. I do remember it. So we have, I sabotaged our connection because it was too intense, and I underestimated how important you are in my life. So this is someone who may have lost that. Let's say they may have been permanently relegated to the friend zone because of something they did a while back. You may have just got this perception of this friend as being non-committal. You may have this perception as this is a person who doesn't know how to talk about their feelings. It does seem like that's true. There's this insight that you've gotten because of being friends with this person that made you feel there really was no future that the two of you could do, right? This is like regret over their being a little bit too open with you and telling you how they treat others. And I feel like that meant you didn't really take them seriously as a romantic interest because you know how they treat other people. That's a little bit frustrating. But you know that you weren't really looking for someone that would approach things the way this person does. And they wish that they hadn't been so, like, honest with you, which is not necessarily a good sign. They wish that they had been a little bit more like charming or been a little bit nervous to tell you how they interact with others in a dating sense or, friends with benefits. But they keep hoping that you're going to contact them, that maybe you'll be saying that you're not interested in this new person anymore. This is a friend who's in love with you and doesn't seem to know how to support you being happy with other people. They can't let you go. So this took such a pivot, you know? At the outset, it's you're meeting someone new, it's going great. This person is very honest. This person is someone that wants to be in a long-term relationship with you. You're excited, but then you go talk to somebody, and that somebody is a friend who doesn't want to be supportive because they feel like you're their person. All right, so we'll go with the Marseille Cat Tarot and see what we've got for Lee's question. What does Lee need to know about the situation on her mind, please? What does Lee need to know about the situation on her mind? Hello, Renata. How you doing? So we have the 6 of Wands in the reverse, 7 of Pentacles in the reverse, and the 10 of Wands in the reverse. Someone's feeling like they didn't do enough to make sure that things turn out the way they wanted it to. 3 of Swords in the reverse, the Magician. I still feel like there's more that's going to happen here that is on your side of the equation. This is like someone feels like you are a little bit better prepared, or you have a better grasp on the situation than they expected. This could be in reference to what you know, right? And so now there's this like concern, am I going to be found out, or is there going to be a regret that I have regarding how much effort I put into this, or whether or not I, did what I said I did. I think there's some nerves and some concern that maybe things are going to be a little bit difficult because you're a more worthy opponent than someone expected. So we have somebody who's moody. Hello, Bruno. How are you doing? All right, y'all. I'm going to leave it there, but I'll be back in a little bit. I love you. Thank you for the likes, the subscribes. Thank you for hyping if you're able to, and I'll see you on the next reading. Doodles.